Hello you lot. Now you joined me fresh from the gym. This is actually a video I didn't plan on making just yet. Anyway, I've been aware, whilst just training in the gym now, of various WhatsApps going around, things on forums being bandied around willy-nilly. It seems that this is extremely exciting news for some of you, so I thought why not monetize it and do a quick video. Now, my Pista. Various photos have been circulating all over the place of my Pista on the other side of the world. There is very good reason for this. That is because, drum roll please, I've sold it. Quite obviously. It's not me in Malaysia driving around in it. It's not me in my holiday home in Malaysia. I've sold it. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, I did expect this to be clocked a lot sooner. It has been sold for a little while now. It's been sold for a number of weeks. The car was actually sold to somebody in London who has then taken it over to Malaysia. That person is, shock horror, Malaysian, so they put it over there where they live. I don't think it's a huge surprise to those that watch my channel a lot that the Pista has gone. I've mentioned potentially getting rid of the Pista now probably for months actually, and that decision was actually catalysed by the arrival of the Turbo S, which I actually mentioned in my Turbo S video. Some of you will already be saying in the comments, why do I feel the need to explain myself? Sometimes I feel I need to. When you get sent links to forums and you get WhatsApps being sent by people you don't even know saying, oh, I've seen your Pista here, there and everywhere, meh, 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 meh. I feel it's best to put a video out. And the most important bit about all of this is the fact that this video is monetized. So in actual fact, this kind of furore actually helps fill my pockets, which the Pista is still monetizing itself even after it's gone, which is great. If you're here and watching this and listening to this more kind of conversational type video, I actually want to drop in right now that I now have a podcast. My podcast is now live over on Spotify, iTunes, Google, and whatever else it is that podcasts are played on. So I'll leave the link to that below. I've done my first introductory episode and I'm going to be causing quite a bit of trouble on my podcast very soon. So make sure you go and subscribe, follow, thumbs up, share, whatever it is you do on podcasts. I would really appreciate that because it's not going to be like any other in the automotive sector. I can assure you of that. I'm going to be slightly more liberal on what I say, and I don't think it's going to be for everyone. So go and check that out anyway. The link is below in the pinned comment. There are no sponsors on this video. It's too quick. I wasn't able to get a sponsor on it within 2 hours, so it's just me sat on the sofa. So, Pista ownership then. Let's just run you through how that all came about, why it went, how much I got for it, because those are the questions you all want to know. So, I picked that car up in May 2019. You'll all be aware that it's now October 2020. So I've had that car, well, by the time it went, 18 months? Can we claim that? I can't count. Around 18 months. Anyway, in that time, I've driven the length of the country in it for Modball UK. It's been round Silverstone with Archie.
Now start feeding it on, and away we go. Away we go. That's how we do it. So you're getting used to it. 150 miles an hour. Okay, that'll do. Lovely, down again. Come to. Off the brakes, Tom. Once you hit them, just hit them once, don't hit the dust. Off the power, get the nose in. We don't want to understeer, and we don't want to end up on the M1. Keep proceeding out to the exit. Lovely.
Who are these guys in front of us?
Don't worry, I don't know who they are. We're on a track day. How am I supposed to know who everyone is? Turn in. Lovely. There's a very nice girl in there, Tom.
Where?
Short shift. She's a lovely girl.
Where, boy?
And she wanted you to sign her DMs. I'll keep proceeding.
Where, boy?
Here you go.
I'm going to get out.
Okay, great.
I've interviewed a Formula 1 driver from within it, so it's had a fairly mixed life. It's also obviously done various laps of Sloane Street, Harrods, and varying laps of London. How many miles did I do in it? I did about 1,300 miles in the car in 18 months, which you're all going to be shouting at me again for that. Well, some of you will be, some of you won't be, and this is a topic I get a lot of flack about, why I don't do many miles on a lot of my cars. A, I have 10 of the things, or 9 of the things, or 11 of the things, however many cars it was at the point at which the Pista went. B, I live in London, so everything is within half a mile of my front door. C, business-wise, actually mileage, you've got to be relatively careful on this. It makes no business sense to do huge amounts of miles on these things and drive them around willy-nilly. As much as I would love to, it's not feasible to do that, and I won't go into too much depth on that, but some of you will be able to work out exactly what I mean by that. D, I have plenty of other cars that are good at soaking up miles, i.e. the Range Rover, which is my personal car, which I just use for personal errands. There is no point using a lightweight special to go and do your errands in. And also, those that watched my last video last night will know that my girlfriend hates it as well. Why did I get rid of it, and how did it all come about? Well, actual fact, me dropping into videos saying that I was thinking of getting rid of it, I had people messaging me non-stop asking to buy the car off me. So I took up an offer on one of those. I got really good money for it. I didn't make money. I didn't turn a profit, sadly, on the car. But yeah, I got out a sensible money, didn't really lose anything. And to be honest with you, the whole ownership of that car has made me money overall in terms of my social media endeavors. And that's kind of the idea. So very happy with how I got out of the car, very happy with the ownership of the car, absolutely loved the car, but I got a sensible offer, and the Turbo S was really, as we're coming into winter especially, was just making the Pista's case for remaining in my garage obsolete, actually. Do I regret it now, a few weeks on? Slightly. I do miss the car, to be honest with you, but hey, these things happen. There's plenty of them about. There are so many Pistas knocking about. Ferrari made so many of them. If I want to go and get another one, I can. Was the spec annoying me? After 18 months or so, it was grating me a little bit. It wasn't as much of an infatuation as it was when I first got it, I've got to say. One of the main things that was annoying me was there's no Alcantara on the seats, and the centre tunnel in the middle of the car, that was all coated in smooth leather, which I really, really didn't like. And Ferrari's kind of basic leather is a little bit rubbish, and there was just leather everywhere, all over it. Other than that, I loved the paint, I loved the yellow headlights, I loved the exhaust, I loved the yellow details inside the car. I did enjoy all of that, but it was just kind of, there was just too much leather inside the car, which was doing my head in. Why didn't I put it on the market and advertise it like a normal person? Well, A, I didn't really need to, and B, I just think in terms of even brand perception and annoying Ferrari and looking and devaluing the brand and getting kind of hassle, I think putting it online, and let's use an example, with an independent dealer for way less than I paid for it, letting it sit around unsold and be sent around everywhere, and then claiming I love it so much I'm taking it back just because it hasn't sold, having lost around 300 grand on it, probably wouldn't be the best course of action. So I wanted to avoid all that and just do it under the radar, get it gone, nice and simple, no topic for discussion for millions of people, just out the door, nice and simple. Is it a flip? No, because I lost money on it, I put a load of miles on it, it was no longer delivery miles, I tracked it, I used it, I modified it, I drove it around all over the place. Because I know when I first got that car, a lot of you were saying, he's going to flip this, he's going to flip this, and even there's a guy at Ferrari, a communication guy there, he wasn't fan of me getting the car either. He was whining about it, he was sending around emails, whinging the fact that I'd got a Pista, and you know, that I shouldn't have got one, blah, blah, blah. I bought a Lusso to get into it. I got out of the Lusso, lost a hell of a lot on that thing. I lost probably 45 grand on the Lusso getting out of it, and then I didn't flip the Pista. I made a load of content with it. I used it as it is intended, well, once at the very least, on a track. And yeah, I enjoyed my ownership and I got out at a slight loss. So really, I think I surprised some of you with that, not flipping it. I'm surprised myself, to be honest. I was offered 400 grand when I first got that car and I paid 335. So I could have made 65 grand tax-free on that. Retrospect, would I have flipped it? Now I know that Pistas aren't holding their money anymore and they're not going for overs. I'd probably still have kept it. I probably still have kept it for the 18 months. I probably wouldn't have done anything different. I probably would have just been more aware of the fact that I was going to get a sore one getting out of my Lusso, which actually transpired into the 458 Spider, which then I struggled to get out of, which then eventually went. So there's a huge story on that as well. But I just wanted to make this video basically and just say, you know, that's where it's gone. It's now in Malaysia. So if you're in Malaysia, don't be surprised if you see it driving around. It is my car. And that's all there is to it. And the big question on everyone's lips, what is replacing the Pista? Is there going to be a Pista replacement? And of course, that is going to be a series on the channel. I've got my eye on various things to replace the Pista. It's going to be an aggressive replacement if it happens. It's not going to happen overnight. I've got a little stand-in en route that I've already put a deposit down on, which is completely different to the Pista, but it's going to satisfy my urge for yet another car. And the Pista replacement will probably be coming spring next year. So I'm going to spend the winter looking for one, maybe try and kick someone in the balls and lowball someone to get someone out of one. But I'm going to reveal all of that very, very soon. There's going to be supercar dealership shopping videos and loads of nonsense to go along with it. Why the delay before telling you lot that it had gone? Well, very simple. I'd filmed some branded stuff with that car that before that stuff went out, I wasn't going to tell everyone that the car had gone. It would completely devalue the content that I'd made with those brands. Nice, cool, interesting videos with that car, and you'll know the videos I mean. And one or two of those videos were filmed ages ago, but I couldn't put those out until they were fully approved and things at their end due to COVID was all kind of sorted and whatnot. So I had to delay me telling people about the Pista until those videos had gone out. It's a commercial thing. It's not a case of, you know, trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. It doesn't make any difference to me whether or not you find out about the Pista this week, next week, or next year. It really doesn't make any difference to me at all, but I just had to make sure that I didn't announce the Pista had gone and then put out a load of videos that were pre-recorded and going through the approval process with various brands at that point. Hopefully that makes sense as well. And this should have been a turning point for some of you, and some of you would have clocked what had gone on when I got this new Centurion watch. So at the point at which you saw me with this, it replaced the Centurion watch that I had for my Pista. This is actually for my Turbo S, and there'll be more content with this coming soon, but this is now all programmed to my Turbo S. In fact, I think I've posted on my Instagram this evening with this watch and my Turbo S. So this is all programmed. It's the carbon Centurion watch. It's a completely different vibe to the gold one that I have for my Pista. So when some of you saw me get the Centurion watch for this, that should have given you a clue that perhaps it would be replacing the Centurion watch that I got with my Pista. Don't know how perceptive some of you were, but if you clocked that one, then good on you. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm going to finish this because it's going to be a ball ache to edit otherwise. Hopefully that clarifies things, and make sure you do check out my podcast. The link is in the pinned comment. Make sure we actually went to #1 in the UK, which is actually mental, for my little intro episode. And if you go and listen to it now, you'll realise that it really didn't deserve to go to #1 at all. It was terrible, but the first proper episode is coming very, very soon on that, so go give that a listen. Make sure you rate it 5 stars if you can, if that's on iTunes. Leave a little comment with your Instagram name and I will go and personally thank you in your DMs on Instagram. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that is not upsetting news. I realise that some people on the Piston Heads forums are very, very upset by this, and I really don't know why. They're a bunch of Keiths and they're doing my head in because I'm sent screenshots of the forum every 5 minutes. So if you're from that forum and you're having a go at me, go and buy your own Pista and have it for 18 months and then sell it, and you won't hear a peep out of me because I really don't care. See you later.